Good evening, you guys. So, I am getting ready and I am trying to kind of guesstimate how I'm going to do this. Actually, Anthony ended up coming in and had a really good idea. I had kind of backed away for a minute and went and made a smoothie really quick, and so he ended up, as you guys will see, pulling everything. But so these big flat ones, I am trying to do stuff that I like to have a lot on hand and that I know will be something we use quite a bit of. So for that, it was the chicken bouillon, and it is something that is a staple in the house, and so we use it quite often. And I'm just trying to go through and decide what needs to be changed up, what works. Like, I just took out the chicken and tomato bouillon, but it isn't something I keep a lot on hand. But with this, it is kosher salt, and I do tend to keep a lot of it on hand. And I am trying to reuse some of the labels that I already have, but some are not good enough. And I was doing this alone at first, but like I said, Anthony came in and then Mom came in, and it just was like bam, 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 and we were talking, and it was actually kind of nice because getting up and down on that step stool was starting to get really bad for my hip. And so we all three ended up working together. I was filling them up, putting a lid on. Anthony was taking the label off. Mom was putting it or holding it for him, and he was sticking it on. It worked out perfectly. So there are a few times where I'm going to go through and I don't like the container I put it in, and I will change things around. There's not too much of that going on, but there were a lot. I would ask Anthony for help to see which one he thought, and then I went after the wall and decided to start working on it, and we ended up getting it all knocked out. This was a very long process, but it is done. I still have some containers left, but for the majority, we are good. You will probably see me put stuff in the other containers, but nothing major like these videos have been. Thank you for joining us through this whole thing, and here we go for the rest of the video. I'll pop in and out, and we'll decide. Don't ask. Anthony and I were playing around. Anyway, so now that we're done playing, Anthony is gonna actually take everything out of the cabinet, so I am staying on the floor and I'm not having to get up and down, and it makes it so much easier. And though I am hurting, it's not as bad as if I had gotten up and down repeatedly, because I was doing it in the most silliest manner. So it's time to get back to work. So as you can see, he's standing right there. And there was, like I said, there was some containers that we needed to make new labels for, and so I had to go get him the label maker. Actually, we had to find it because we weren't quite sure where it was. But these are all the spices from the cabinets, and this took up quite a bit of it, and when everything is said and done, there is so much space. And that's not even too deep. I have kept them to just one. Things are just working out, and I just hope when and if we're able to find a place to live in a few months that our cabinets will be a pretty good size. And this time, this day, I did not throw a bunch of stuff around like I did the other day. I did end up pouring my prime rib mix on the floor on accident. I didn't get a lot, but it was enough to where we needed to sweep up really quick. This right here was one of my gripes from before we had ever implemented anything into these cabinets, is this container right here of salt. And I mean the store one. I had 6, and I kid you not, they were completely in different areas of just these 3 cabinets, and they were all open. And so that's what originally got us to switch. This is the 3rd containers we have used. I had, like I've said in a previous video, I've had Snapware, but the lids are so finicky that it just wasn't working. Like screwing them on wasn't working. There's a green ring in them that wasn't working. You sometimes all you could do was just spin and spin the lid, and sometimes the lid didn't click down, which it was a very convenient lid. You just popped it open, but yeah, no. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm emptying the container that is from this cabinet, and then I have the stuff on the wall, as you guys have seen in the past, or you will see later in this video. There was chives, was what I was just working on a minute ago. There was chives in that cabinet. There was some on the wall. There was minced garlic, the powdered garlic. It was just kind of everywhere. And so this was an opportunity to kind of work on all of that also at the same time. as you can see, we are getting very low, but with the taco mix, I don't have a lot on hand, and actually lately I've been making kind of my own taco mix, and so this is just taco mix you can buy at the store. And that's one thing, like, I'm trying to keep that in mind. What will I continue to use? And so that container had to be rinsed out, and because I am going to use it actually for the onion mix. That is the only thing I dislike about some of this set is you can't get an abundance of what you want. I have some really big containers, and then I have left, and then I have quite a few of the small ones too. But it is working out. I was telling my mother-in-law the real small ones, it'd be great if it had like a shaker in it. I think that would make these even better. But I love that they are airtight. Anthony, he is too funny. One of these, I was like, it's not gonna fit. And he's like, you want to make a bet? And Mom even was like, it's not gonna fit. It fit. He was right. That'll be the last time I say that. So, I'm going to use one of the big ones. So I thought, I am sitting there because I have sea salt in front of me and I'm not making a decision, and I kind of wanted to have Anthony's input on it also. And so my camera died, you guys, sorry. But I use sea salt, especially like when I'm making pasta. I like really, salty water with it. And so it's cheaper, it's better for you. I find that we don't use as much iodized salt. We don't cut it out completely, but I just find that it's better for my pasta water alone. And so Anthony's like, well, you really have to make that decision. And I'm not good at making decisions. So these, it is so weird to say, these are officially the last ones. And so we are going to dump them into the last few of the squares we have, and then I'm going to be done. It is going to be weird. I feel like this was just a really weird series of my old body trying to get all of this done. And it wasn't just my body, it was getting the containers in or the shipping, them getting lost, and waiting for, like Walmart is where I got one of the sets of waiting for them to get them back in stock. It's definitely, it's been interesting. All right, Anthony. Okay. So Anthony was supposed to come back and help because, like I said, going up and down the stool is not easy. Thank God for Mom. She was in there and she started handing me stuff. And actually, I started to kind of, I want to say, get things together, but I don't know if it would make any sense to anybody else. But I tried to get all of the, you know, see, I'm a woman of many words. Like the mixes all together, and don't know if it makes any sense to me, but so far I can find everything, and that's all that matters. So Mom's handing me stuff, I'm asking for stuff, and then it's just random other stuff. And so I was like, just give me this, like all the pepper, or things that were a little more spicy are on the top. And it's kind of nice. And Anthony made fun of me. So I eventually got off the stool and I was putting stuff up into the cabinet. And he's like, see, now you can reach the top. I was like, I've always been able to reach the top. But there's something about reaching above my head. My arm will feel like it's on fire. So, little poopy head. It looks amazing, and I am hoping it will stay looking this good and organized. And I just hope in the next place that it will fill up the cabinets that we're gonna want to have in the kitchen and for the spices, that it fills them up properly. You never know, right? So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow. There's a little more video left. I will show you just a slowed down version of what's in the cabinets. But thank you for joining us. Love you guys.